Right, a quick video on the mask and what it really means to wear a mask. Now, of course, there's the whole idea of if somebody tells you to do something and you do it, you've already submitted to their authority. So that's the first point to make, is that there's already a control issue there, that you've submitted to a higher power. Now, let's look at another point here, and there's another submissive aspect to wearing a mask, and that is the physical representation of wearing the mask is similar to the physical representation of like cowering down in front of somebody, you know, like, oh, I'm not worthy to show my face to you, or I'm protecting myself from somebody that's stronger than me. And that's, you know, this idea, you see it with people that speak, people that are strong speakers, you know, speaking like this. Not that I'm a strong speaker, but and then you see people that are maybe more timid, and they'll speak in front of people. They might cover their mouth, they might not lower their head down, and just mess with their face, you know, covering their face. And it's this idea again of I'm weaker, you're stronger. Okay, so there's this power thing here, you know, this control thing. Okay, another point I wanted to make is this twisted irony of what's going on right now with this idea of wearing a mask. Can we get these stupid people to wear a bloody mask, and all the time they don't even realize that they are wearing a mask within the control system that's already running the world? People don't realize that the role that they're playing, the person that's generated from that birth certificate, that is the mask. That birth certificate, that name they created, which they stole from your parents, and they just translated it into a different language. Well, not really translate it, but they just copied it into, you know, symbolism into a different language. And you just went ahead and believed that you were that person. Okay, and the person is a mask. The person is the persona. It is the mask that it's the mask with the mouthpiece that the actor uses during a play back in the olden days, you know, to represent a change in character. They put a different mask on. So that mask, the persona, the person that you play in life, is that mask, the mask that you're wearing within the legal system. And you don't realize it, or at least not many people. I mean, I expect most of my regular people that watch this stuff, watch my channel, know this. But if you're stumbling across this video, there's a fair chance that you don't realize that you are actually playing a role within the legal system. You know, that birth certificate isn't anything really to do with you. And let's just leave it at that, because there's some deeper stuff that I want to get into now. Right. The coronavirus. There's a reason why they picked this name. Okay, and there's a reason why people are wearing these black bloody masks right now. What is the corona? The corona is the fictional light, the ring of fire that is left behind when, let's just call it the moon going in front of the sun for now. I know people argue about this, but the black disk, the moon, blocks out the sunlight, okay? And you're left with the corona. Now, it's no strange thing that this virus is called the coronavirus. And what we're dealing with is the moon. I don't know if you're getting this now, but the moon is the mask. The moon masks out the sun. The moon is masking out the light from the world. The moon represents the fictional side of reality. The sun represents nature. The sun, the S-O-N, the Son of God, is Christ, is nature, the cross. This is how we represent nature. The four elements, the four seasons, the solstices, the equinoxes. we end up, the north, south, east, west, we end up with the cross. Right. So, the cross, which is nature, which is the sun, is being blocked out by the moon, the fictional side of the system. If you go back and watch my Coldplay video, I mentioned, if you go and watch Yellow by Coldplay, that video, it's a very simple video, but with very deep meaning behind it. The legal system plays on this idea as well. We have the land, which is nature, and we have the sea, which represents the fictional side of the system, the fictional side of reality. And where those two things meet is the beach. This is why the beach is mentioned all the time in the news right now. The corona, the golden sands of the beach, the golden ring of fire that you see in the eclipse is the physical representation of the jurisdictional boundary between the fictional side of reality, the legal system. That's all fiction, made up ideas, technology, all this stuff, all these ideas that we have. This is all the fictional side of reality. And then we have the material side of reality, which is nature, which is where there's a set of rules that have been put there in stone. That's what being in stone means. It means it's physical. It doesn't mean literally that it was, Moses didn't really go up the mountain and bring back down some carved stone tablets. It's a metaphor for nature. And those laws are within nature. They're set in stone. They can't be changed. They're immutable. Okay? Those are the rules that man should be living by. Those are the rules that are put there by the Creator. That's our salvation. Without trying to sound too preachy, that is the salvation of man, is nature. It's the physical rules that were put there by God, the Creator, whatever you want to call that entity. Now, what we've got right now is we've got a slight problem. We have a total eclipse of the sun. We don't have a total eclipse. I mean, of course, there's people out there that recognize nature. But this is what the corona is. This is the crown of thorns that binds Jesus on the cross. Okay, this is, they don't just black out Jesus as a shadow on there to represent him being taken over by the fictional side of the system. They represent that with the crown of thorns on his head. This is the control thing. This is, in iPet Goat, they use a piece of barbed wire on Jesus' head in that. It represents containment, control. And so the corona itself is not a positive or negative thing, in my opinion. It is simply what happens when you have those two things together. But unfortunately, what we have, when you have those two things together, when you have that crown of thorns, the dark is always blocking the true light. So, in order to be what I would say a truly balanced man or woman, you need to recognize, you need to be able to see through the illusion of the dark side. You need to be able to see through that to the light. Now, the corona can be the jurisdictional boundary where you just step over the line that's drawn, the reason why we have the line drawn in the sand. The sand, the beach, is the jurisdictional boundary. Now, you can either step over that boundary, or you can stand there and observe both sides of the reality. What I'm trying to get at is that what we have right now is we have a reality that is being dominated, I think, by the dark side. And if you cannot see past the dark side, if you cannot see past the fiction to the light, if you don't know that there's light there, then you are controlled by the corona. That represents the control mechanism. what more to say? With the legal system, we have the water representing the fictional side of reality, the dark blue or the blue, or the black of Saturn, the dark side of the moon. All these things, that was all the same stuff. And then we have the land, which is nature, which is the sun. These things represent, our salvation. So we've got these two sides, and now there is another point to this. So you're being controlled here, right? The third eye is blocked by the corona, the temples are blocked. You are controlled here. Now, what needs to happen is this crown of thorns needs to be removed. The veil needs to be removed. And the veil, which is the moon, which is blocking the true nature, this is the mask that you're wearing, represents these black bloody masks that everybody's wearing, represents the true nature of man being blocked. Okay, the same way as the moon blocks the sun. Okay, it's true. The true nature of reality is being blocked by the moon. The moon is the mask. The mask that you're wearing is blocking your true nature. The same way as in, Star Wars, the bloody, it's no coincidence that Vader is on the Death Star, which looks a lot like a moon. I think they refer to it as a moon. And what's he dressed up in? He's got a bloody black mask on. I mean, you can't write this stuff. You just can't write it. They obviously did write it at some point in time, but George Lucas did anyway. But this is the point that I'm trying to make, is that there's this, wearing this mask is really blocking your true nature. It's the fictional side of things. That's why these masks are dark. This is, the black sun, Saturn, the dark side of the moon, like I just said. It's I don't know where else to go with this now. Do you see what I'm treading in? I'll tell you another interesting thing. If you can remove that crown of thorns off your head, and you are aware of what it is, and you are aware of, if you can remove that crown of thorns, but you still have it with you and you are aware of what it is, that it is just a jurisdictional boundary between those two realities, well, the two sides of reality, if you like, you have become an angel. You have pure balance in your life. This is why we're here. It's got to be why we're here. God, if we're created in the image of in the image of God, what does God do? He balances nothing, where fictional ideas come from, and everything, which is the material world. He balances those two things. He is pure balance. So, he has to be. In order for those two things to exist or not exist, you have to have pure balance. And so what are we here to do? If we're created in the image of God, we're here to find a balance. We're here to walk a balanced path. We're here to obviously enjoy life, but to find balance in that journey. Now, if you can find balance and you can remove the illusion, that jurisdictional boundary now does not become it's not that thorny hedge wrapped around your head. It's not that barbed wire containing you. You've removed it. You've gone to a higher place. Now you're an angel. You can ascend to heaven, which is the fictional realm, or you can descend to earth, which is the material realm. Those are the two aspects of the reality. So what we're here to do, to become angels, to walk a balanced life, walk a balanced path in life on this journey. You know what I mean? That's it. That mask that you're wearing is, you don't know it, but do you want to be Vader? Do you want to be Darth Vader and succumb to the dark side and live in the darkness? Or do you want to move over to the light side? And, you know, I don't think it's just about living in the light. You have to be able to balance those two things. Because we're not here. God didn't create us, with a mind where we could create these fantasies and these ideas. He didn't just, there's a reason why we can do this. And there's a reason why we're material beings. And anyway, that's, to find balance between those two things. End. That's it. I haven't got anything else to say. I don't know what I've missed out of there. But once you start looking at this stuff, it's everywhere. And, they use this jurisdictional stuff all the time in reality. So you just have to look at, the more subtle meanings behind things. That's it. I got to give up on this one now. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of that. Cheers. Bye.